get a better deal. Let's see what happens. But I think the mood here, John, is that people obviously, since they were invaded and taken over by the Soviet Union in 1940, it's a difficult relationship with Russia. That said, if you ask what they think about President Trump, I think they're worried. They are worried that President Trump ultimately may just kind of walk away and say, look, I tried. These parties can't get it together. I'm out of here. And it's in the hands of the Europeans. So that is a concern, because even though the Europeans are rallying, and they're rallying actually quite quickly with more sanctions, giving more money. By the way, Estonia itself is going to be giving 5.4% of its GDP, which is a lot more than the United States does, to its own defense, which is for NATO. So they're very serious about it. But
there's nothing funnier than this woman, this American woman, sitting there and talking about how one of its colonies is paying additional penance to the American mercenary force and the American military-industrial complex to the tune of 5% of its entire national GDP. Okay? It's so funny. And you ask Estonians this, they're going to be like, of course, we don't want fucking disgusting Russian orcs coming over and taking over our country. Like, this is literally a colony. This is what it is. They're saying, my lordship, we will pay you. How the fuck do you think feudal structures worked in the land of monarchs? How do you think this worked? It was exactly the same. The king has an army. Half of the army is actually the very same peasants that are working under the feudal structure. The army is comprised of the peasants, but the army also pays taxes to the king, so the king will protect them. Yeah. In the modern world, we also call this a protection racket. It's what the mafia does. A racket. An extortion racket, a protection racket. That's it. You don't want the rival gangs to come up and fuck your business up? You have to pay us money so that you can defend yourself with the weapons that we will give you. And maybe if you're good enough, we'll come in and defend you directly if the other mafia comes in. And just like the mafia, in order to justify NATO in many of these countries, they literally did do mafia shit, for the record. I'm, of course, talking about Operation Gladio. So, yeah. Wonderful stuff here.
I do think the one phrase that I did hear over and over again was Estonia was right. And Estonia meaning not only Estonia, but a lot of people in this region. Estonia was right in 2022 when they said that Vladimir Putin would invade Ukraine. And they would argue, you know, people weren't paying attention. But of course, now everybody understands that that's precisely what happened.
Yeah, this is no
Estonia
game for Estonia.
Owned Hassan.
This is no deal, per se. This is life and death. Jill Doherty, thank you for being there. Thank you for joining us this morning. All right, with us now, CNN Global Affairs analyst Kim Dozier. So, Kim, what does that do? There are low-level meetings happening right now in Turkey between Russia and Ukraine. But what does it do to those meetings if President Trump says, you know, the only way this is going to get done is if I meet with Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, this feels like a cakewalk where Putin keeps pulling the chairs out from underneath Ukraine, and Trump just lets them. Across Europe and in Ukraine, where I just was, they're feeling like Trump always sides with Putin.
To be fair to Trump on this, Trump has all the motion on the planet, okay, to literally do a deal with Israel. And it doesn't have to be a deal. It's just Trump has to say the words to Israel, which is stop. Instead of saying the words, am Israel high? All he needs to do is say the words, stop. Okay? Like, you know how he said, Vladimir, stop. And we all laughed at that. He could say that to Israel and Israel would stop. Part of the reason why I thought maybe there is like some chance in the incredibly hyper unlikely off chance that there could potentially be a ceasefire. The reason why I said it could potentially happen was because he has no shot at doing this with Russia. He has no control over Russia, but he has full control over Israel. So in order for him to like seemingly get a W, I thought maybe he would try to dial the fucking violence back. He didn't even take that. Okay? But with Russia, he has nothing. What's he supposed to do? Like, at the end of the day, Vladimir, stop is basically what he can do. Now, what he could do with Russia is, instead of going to Russia, he could go to China. China has time and time again shown to be a restrained party that wants peace in Ukraine, that wants to maintain stability, that is willing and able to reign in Russia. Okay? Donald Trump could go to China. But instead, Donald Trump is agitating against China. Instead of trying to get China to the table and get China to rein in its partner here. Xi wore a Z ribbon. What the fuck are you on? Oh. You know what? Fuck it. Things are good. There's no reason to fucking fix it. Russia is not a partner to China. It's their colony. No, it is a partner to China. It is not their colony. You're dumb as fuck. Genuine question, but as a European, I don't really see China as impartial or wanting stability after he went to Russia to visit the parade. What makes you think it would help? Wait, first of all, the entire planet, especially on that part of the world, celebrate Victory Day. That's not unique. Okay? It's Victory Day. When I went into France, it was Victory Day there too. Like Xi Jinping going to Russia or going to Moscow for the fucking Victory Day parade is meaningful. Yes, it's China showing support to its ally, to its partner. But it's you know, their perspective on the matter is I think their perspective on the matter is basically, and this resembles the Global South's framework as well, because you'll see some people that are like pro-Russia and then pro-Palestine, and you're like, why the fuck is this happening? Why are so many people pro-Russia and pro-Palestine? The reason for that is the same reason why China is a partner to Russia in this endeavor. Because Russia is seen as a fucking weapon to wield against Western interests. They're the only guys dumb enough to aggressively go after any sort of Western intervention and actually put the fucking manpower necessary to and expend to undermine Western interests in their backyard. That's it. because every single one of these